So, Pat, do you want to talk about that dream?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, actually, the conversation started because I mentioned that I had a dream of my mom passing away while I was in Argentina. And then that happened later. And then Pat said that, yeah, I had to tell you about my dream. And that's how that started.
Yeah. Um, I had a dream that I was going on a bike trip with two friends, and in the dream, I we went to a farm. One of the grandmothers of my friend. When we got to the farm, inside the house, I saw the grandmother sitting down in the corner. I saw the fridge, the stove. I saw the clock on top of the stove, and the needle of the clock were chicken and a rooster.
Mm.
And I look at the fridge, and I saw a harmonica, the thing you play music on
Yes.
the fridge, right? Well, 3 days after, I was there with every detail, right? So I was like, I was young at that time. I was around 12 years old. So later in my life, I always questioned that dream because I was like, how is it possible to, it cannot come from my when they say you dream and it had to
Subconscious.
somewhere, man, to know where I was going to be in 3 days. I mean, come on, there's no way that you can dream in that much details. So later in my life, I started asking questions about that, and then I came across this guy that he also had these dreams, and then he said, when you dream, it's hard to understand this thing. When you dream, you're in a four dimension. He said you can see a five dimensions. For example, you can see like 20 step ahead, 20 step behind, all at the same time. Right? You understand that the dimension concept? No?
Yes, but I don't know exactly what you're referring to in this case.
Well, he said, okay, so if you go all the way up to what I'm referring in the dimension is like when you're in the fourth dimension in a dream, taking it from him, he means that you can see the future, you know? And
Okay.
if it's like a mosquito on an elephant leg, and then he takes off to fly it, then he realized he was on an elephant. And then he realized that there's a forest there. It's just like your consciousness expand, and then you start seeing the flow of time is different. Kind of see more what's ahead,
Yeah.
and the more dimension you go. So he was saying that at the 10th dimension, that this is where your life start. And he said here on the third dimensional world, he said like on the 10, it's like if you ride, it's 100 miles per hour. And then here you're 5 miles per hour. So everything already happened, but you're just catching up because you're at the end. So you're catching it up slower. But your life already happened, according to him. So he
Yes.
said, "Why, when you dream, you go in different dimension that you perceive future event. See, because if we're supposed to be multi-dimensional being, right? What they say. So right now we're in a three-dimensional. That's how we analyze. When I go out of my body, I'm more like in a four. You see? So let's say that I'm in a six-dimensional. Well, I will see my life according to this guy. Things happening way before they happen here in the third. So when you go, like you do like psychic work or remote viewing, you go and focus 10, they call. So in that focus, it's like that. It's like you're riding the dream state, like, and then you can find a certain point and see, right? But in reality, it's like you see in a different dimension. Not a dimension like a place, but a four dimension in your consciousness. It's like you're more aware. You can see further things, event. I don't know if you understand, but
Yeah, I do understand it, but I usually don't use the terms sixth dimension or fifth dimension.
well, that's what the guys used.
Yeah. And another thing is that with the future is that if you can see the future before, then there is a problem with free will.
No, there's not. If you go
tomorrow, I can go to the gym in the morning or not, but it is not written, right?
well, maybe.
Well,
No.
I don't believe that's the case.
Okay, but how do you explain your dream? How do you see that?
No, what I'm saying is that when people see the future, is the thing that is most likely to happen.
Yeah, but how do you explain your dream?
Oh, yeah, because in my case, I think that my mom, because my mom was in Argentina and I was in Miami. And then a lot of things happened that I changed the flight 1 week earlier. So my theory is that she was waiting for me. She wanted to see me before she transitions, you know? So, but maybe it wasn't known for sure the exact time that's gonna happen. You know, some details might depend on the free will of people, but it was the future that was most likely to happen.
That's how.
And the main thing happened that way. She was able to see me. I was the last person to see her from my family.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, me, I can explain 9.
You cannot explain what?
I cannot explain mine. I mean,
no, but in the cases you saw the most likely future events, and then they happen. There's nothing wrong with that.
and those details, how could it know? How could it guess like that? I never went there in my life.
Yeah, but that information was already known by other people. By it could be known by some system.
Yeah, but you cannot fly like this. You have to come up with an idea.
What do you mean?
Well, you have to come up with a something. Just fly it up. You just broom it up.
Well, I don't know exact details.
What is it possible? Would it be possible for you, Ronnie, your name?
So basically, you're saying you saw the future, right?
Dream, and then 3 days after, I was exactly in the same place with all the details. I'm not alone to have that. Many people have these dreams.
Oh yeah, I've heard that many times. I mean, that's definitely.
And for example, say some of the details.
The farm, the road to go to the farm, the house, inside the house, the stove, the clock, the needle on the clock, the fridge, the harmonica in the mouth, the table, the chair, the grandmother, the clothing.
But you see, all those things, they are not dependent on the free will of anybody. I mean, the house was going to stay in the same place.
How much cautious are we of ourselves and our reality? Maybe things happen already, but we're only cautious at a certain level. Maybe at another level of our subconscious, it's already happened somehow. And
Yeah,
and